Hi, my name's Matt Sammut, and it's great to be here. I'm introducing a business called Fortrus Financial. I'm the founder of it, and we're really excited to bring it to Canadians and the world for that matter. It's a firm that is created to provide customers with strategies, ideas, basically teach you from an educational perspective how to manage your assets to make sure that you are the winner at the end of the day. Let me give you a little bit of background on me so you understand where I'm coming from. I was one of the senior people in the investment management industry in Canada for over a decade. I was one of the top investment advisors. I was a manager at a number of firms. I ran a strategy committee for one of the big bank firms. And it goes on and on. I was on a board of directors, etc. So I'm basically one of the insider of the insiders, which hopefully gives you a feel that I really understand the system for what it is. But what are my passions? My passions and the reason I entered the business was simple. I love helping people. It's something I've always loved, and I want to continue to do it, and that's why I've created Fortrus Financial. I guess I realized in the end that the industry isn't always there just to help the customers. It's very much there for itself, and sometimes the customers win, but sometimes they didn't, and I really struggled with the whole value proposition. Anyways, what customers need and what we're going to provide is a number of things. We're going to make sure they have proper timing of when to be in markets, when to be out. Risk management is absolutely critical in the world today because we live in very volatile times. Things like fee management. People pay way too much in fees and they don't know how to lower them. We're going to help you every which way. And proper asset allocation. Some people have way too aggressive accounts. When we come across them, we say the first thing you got to do is reallocate because you right now are in a risky position. It's great when things are going up, and when things come down, there's a lot of pain, and a lot of people felt that in the early 2000s as well as 2008 and 9. So we want to see people not go through that again. What's my vision for Fortrus? Simple. We want to empower the investors again. We want to put the power back to you through education, truths, and basically a number of tools and strategies that help you win in the system. There is a systematic failure out there. Investment firms and advisors are about profitability. That's what business is about. The problem here is that profitability will impact you, the investor, because their goal is to get as much as they can out of you, both through stated and hidden fees. So our goal is to make sure that first off, those fees are disclosed, transparent, and as low as possible. And more importantly, that you have the right strategies, because the industry has also been very prone to buy and hold, which has proven an absolute failure, and there's no reason it should be there, other than the fact it's an easier process for firms to manage. Put people in, collect fees, move to the next, bring more people in. It doesn't work for the investor always, though, and we know that for the last 14, 15 years. Your job's going to be simple. You got to minimize fees. You got to implement strategies that work on a consistent basis. Not just during up times, because during up times everyone says, oh, things are great. Well, sure it is. You just have to be in the markets for it to be working. But it's during bad times that you got to know how to protect yourself, when to be out. We teach you all that, and that's that we're really excited about that because there's no reason in the world anyone should have taken the major hits they took over the last 14 years. Gaining financial knowledge is really, in our opinion, not an option anymore. Things have become so sophisticated, the industry has become so profitable, and reality is again, the profitability is based on their customers. People have to have some knowledge in two areas, health and wealth. We're not going to help you today at health, but that we know that the importance of that, especially with aging baby boomers. But wealth is an area where people have really not gotten the education they need to manage things properly, and that's what this model is all about, making sure people have that knowledge, making sure they're empowered to make the decisions, not have their advisors make the decisions for them. So why does the industry preach buy and hold? It's simple. It's the best model for them to be financially successful, both short-term and long-term. When things go down, they argue that what could we have done? The market went down. Well, that's not the case. There are a lot of technical tools will teach people when to be out. They could have, most investors should have been out, and actually the smart ones actually make money as things go down. We'll teach that as well for those who want to go that path. So what are some of the key tools that investors need? Number one is knowledge. We've got 42 modules, and we're always building new ones based on client input to make sure we teach you the core concepts that are important. Of those 42, you could probably narrow it down to a half dozen that are critical. And for those who don't want to really get totally educated, we can give them sort of the crash course program. Number two, you got to minimize fees. We're going to teach you every which way where the fees are coming from, how to minimize them because the impact's huge. I'll display that in a couple of minutes to you. And number three, you need tools. we're going to give you all those tools so you can track your investments, so you know what your asset allocation is, so you know the risk of your portfolio, you know when you should be out of things. It is critical for you to have these tools and for you to do it. No one's going to care about your money as much as you will, and we're here to help you with that. You can continue to work with your financial advisor. A lot of people think, oh, geez, I'm not comfortable doing this on my own. That's fine. For a number of customers, we've had their fees dramatically in the thousands and thousands of dollars a year. Their fees come down with advisors because we taught them where the fees are, how to negotiate them down, and right away they gain back our fee multiple times over. That's not even the important part of our model, although I think it's critical, because to be paying too much in fees will greatly impact your net worth down the road. But once you have your knowledge and tools in place, you're going to be looking good, and we're going to be an unbiased coach here to help you with it. Now, I wanted to get a little bit into the importance of saving fees, as I had mentioned earlier on. Let's look at an example. Say a $100,000 portfolio today, and someone puts $3,000 a month for the next 20 years because they want to build for a nice retirement. At a 7% return, that works out to be about $1.9 million. That's pretty nice. You're thinking, I've done really well. Well, let's say you saved a little bit in fees, you did a little bit better in performance, and you moved that up to 10%. Well, 3%. People say, it should be better for sure. Well, it's not only better, it's actually up to $2.9 million. That's over $1 million more higher, or 53% higher, based on that difference. That's huge, and people got to recognize that if they can save fees, perform a little bit better and more consistently, their lifestyle will be dramatically improved. We also believe that young adults must be educated. A big market for us is to say that, look, if you do things right when you're young, the leverage you'll get and the compounding you'll get for the rest of your life will be dramatic. So we're hoping we can help a lot of Canadians, and for that matter, Americans and international students, to really learn the right concepts on how to manage debt and how to build wealth. The financial system itself, it's got major flaws. Reality is they're very profitable, and that's not a bad thing. You want a financially sound system, so profitability is not a bad thing. But look back to 2007. We're near crash. The whole financial system is extremely leveraged, meaning there's huge risks there. And we teach people on safe wealth strategies to protect against institutional failures. There's also today record profits. And reality is, if you look at the industry, there's some of the highest salaries being paid out there. We don't begrudge high salaries at all. We encourage people to work hard, provide lots of value, and get paid well in life. The challenge we have is that at times people are paid a lot of money and they provide no value, or sometimes negative value, and that has happened a lot in the investment industry. And we struggle with that, and we're hoping to change that by helping and coaching our customers to make sure that they don't face that. Your investment advisors are really only paid based on the assets they manage. The fees are attached to those assets, but their main goal is to constantly be bringing in more assets. So it's not necessarily to manage money, it's to keep bringing on new money, put it in somewhere, collect a fee, and move to the next. That's a system we struggle with, because when you go through cycles, in the up cycle you want to be in the down cycle you want to be out. And the chances of you being pulled out are slim to none, because that lowers their fees dramatically. Fortrus is going to make a lot of the investment terms that people are confused by and strategies understandable. We're going to have regular calls where people can call in and ask questions. They can watch modules or listen to the modules via audio, or read them via PDFs. So we're going to have a lot of different ways to teach you and let you do it at your timing and at your pace. Some of the things we mentioned that are important is understanding cycles. It's understanding psychology. It's understanding how to utilize asset and currency allocation properly, and what type of investments to buy and what not to buy. How risky is your portfolio? How do you minimize that risk? All these type things we're going to teach you and make it understandable. Fortrus will be on your side of the table, protecting you against mismanagement, high fees, and poor returns. Our goal is to help you in all those areas. Remember, empowered investors are winning and wealthier ones. We're really excited about working with you at Building Your Wealth. Thank you.